Alright, Waxwork II Lost in Time. I don't really know what to say about this movie because it is certainly, well, it is somewhat like the first movie, and yeah, it does continue the story, but, wow. I'm gonna be honest here. I watched Waxwork, for the first time the night before that I watched Waxwork 2. Waxwork was a good movie here. This one, I was kind of roller coaster going through it. I had no idea that this movie would be a combination in between Waxwork and Army of Darkness. Which, this is pretty much what it is. Lost in Time pretty much says it. The way that the displays worked in the first movie was that they were different timepieces, or different periods of time that you could go to, and that, they were long dead souls trying to come back to life, and that was the entire point of the waxwork and getting the victims and all that. Basically, everything that happened in the first Waxwork movie, evil was not stopped because that little zombie hand got out, and it goes and it kills the surviving girl's stepfather, and she's put on trial for murder. Basically, the entire scene in that is like the hand scene with Ash in Evil Dead 2, and except that it's with a chick. It's still pretty funny, but like again, this movie homages to stuff. But the overall story that they have with it, I'm going to say this right now. You can disclude the character stuff from the first movie, but take the story that they're telling kind of seriously, and it's like an epic. This can be an epic too, but I think you need to shut your brain off for this movie in some ways. Basically, the curators that helped show up at the end of the movie were these time warriors, and Zach Galligan found out that his grandfather was one of these time warriors in that movie, and apparently God or Destiny, they haven't really spelled out which, has chosen him to be a time warrior as well. Well, while the chick that he's kind of fallen in love with from the first movie is on trial for murder, he gets the idea to go back looking under the basement of Sir Wilfred's place and finding a time watch which could take them back in time, and he could gather some evidence of the zombie hand which was destroyed that killed her stepfather. And that's essentially the plot of the movie, is they're going back in time to gather some kind of evidence. And, of course, Lost in Time means everything doesn't go according to plan, otherwise it wouldn't be much of a movie. They go helter-skelter on this. Like the first one, this one kind of updates itself a little bit. We've got Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Alien, Evil Dead. Evil Dead 2 is kind of remarked in here, and I would say that Army of Darkness was, because I found out that this movie came out in '92 about the same time that Army of Darkness did, which I don't think it really trumps it, but I mean, it's a big dumb movie, but it's still kind of fun. They do Frankenstein in this one because apparently they missed it in the first one. Some of the stuff in here is hilarious, but the time jumps and the idea of gathering evidence was what was done to me, and eventually I just had to shut my brain off about halfway through the movie, and I sat back and enjoyed myself. So like they're going and they're bouncing off of different times, and we go to like the ship in Alien, where the chick plays Sigourney Weaver's character. Sometimes they wake up in these time periods with like the memories and the characterizations of the people that they take on, but they have to fight to maintain themselves, otherwise they'll become lost in the time period. We have a little bit of the haunting going on here, which I was surprised at, and we have a lot of good stuff laid out, especially with the final showdown that takes place in this movie, which has a bunch of Templar knights trying to take over King Arthur's kingdom. And I witnessed one of the strangest satanic rituals that I've ever seen in a movie. It's not flat out gross or anything, but it was weird, I will say that. there's a giant epic battle at the end that kind of owns the fighting between Zack and the Marquis de Sade at the end of the first movie, where they're actually fighting through time. They'll like show up in Nosferatu, sword fighting each other. They'll bounce back off into time again, and they're in the shopping mall in the original Dawn of the Dead, which is kind of cool. It's a big dumb movie, but it's still fun. I think I've kind of won over just by sitting back and just enjoying a piece of good old-fashioned escapism with this movie. Watching this for the first time and not really having any kind of idea what you're getting into, which is what I did, you will be kind of roller coaster with this movie. So you might want to go and read up on a plot synopsis just a little bit, or just get kind of an idea of what you're getting into. Otherwise, you might not like this movie as much as you did. You can find this on DVD. You can find it in, if you can find it off the internet or something. I bought it along with the first Waxwork. Both of them are on the same DVD, and about $5 for it, which is a halfway decent price. But yeah, this is still fun, and you get a lot of celebrities that showed up in this movie. I had no idea. Like, we got Marina Sirtis in this movie, Troy from Star Trek, although she's disposable. Drew Barrymore shows up, didn't really notice her. Bruce Campbell is in this movie in the haunting scene, and we have David Carradine show up for all of about 2 minutes. So you've got some nice celebrity cameos to go along with this as well. I think I kind of won myself over while I was talking about liking this movie, but yeah, I do recommend picking up this movie along with the first one. Not really going to make any kind of sense in the long run, especially just shut your brain off and enjoy it, but you will be in for, just a hell of a ride when you're watching it.